You've seen it happen. Someone with less experience gets the promotion. Someone with fewer credentials builds the empire. Someone who broke every social rule somehow ends up running the room. And you stood there thinking, how? Here's the truth nobody teaches you in school. Power is not random. Power is not luck. Power is not just for certain people born into certain families. Power has rules, and the moment you learn them, everything changes. Welcome. Today we are going deep into one of the most misunderstood forces in human civilization. Power. Not the corrupt version, not the abusive version, but the real, structured, principled mechanics of how power actually works in your career, your relationships, your leadership, and your life. Stay with me for the next 8 minutes, because what you are about to hear will reframe how you see every room you walk into. Rule number 1. Power flows to those who understand the system. Most people fight the system. Rare people study it. Think about water. Water does not push against the mountain. Water finds the path. It moves with the structure of the landscape, and because of that, it carves canyons. It shapes continents. It wins, not through force, but through understanding. Power works exactly the same way. Every organization, every social circle, every industry has an invisible architecture. There are written rules, policies, laws, job descriptions, and then there are unwritten rules. Who actually makes decisions? Whose opinion shapes the room before the meeting starts? What behaviors get rewarded versus what behaviors get punished? Most people only see the written rules. The powerful see both. So here is your first assignment. In whatever environment you operate in, study it. Not just the org chart. Study the energy. Who do people look at when a decision is being made? Who speaks last? Whose silence carries weight? That is where the real power lives. Rule number 2. Power requires consistency more than brilliance. Let me tell you something that will save you years of frustration. You do not need to be the smartest person in the room. You need to be the most consistent person in the room. Brilliance is common. Consistency is rare. Think about the people you trust most in your life. You trust them not because they impressed you once. You trust them because they showed up again and again and again. Reliability is a power currency that almost nobody talks about. Here is what inconsistency does to power. It creates doubt, and doubt is the enemy of influence. The moment people cannot predict you, they cannot depend on you. The moment they cannot depend on you, your power evaporates, no matter how talented you are. The rule is this: show up, deliver, repeat. Not perfectly, consistently. Power is not built in the moments of brilliance. Power is built in the 1,000 ordinary moments where you chose to follow through when nobody was watching. Rule number 3. Power expands through giving, not hoarding. This is the rule that breaks people's brains the most. We are conditioned to think that power is a limited resource, that if I give you some of mine, I have less. That protecting your position means keeping others small. That is the poverty mindset of power, and it destroys more careers and leaders than any external enemy ever could. Here is the truth. Power multiplies when you distribute it wisely. When you elevate the people around you, when you give credit generously, when you create opportunities for others, when you share your knowledge instead of gatekeeping it, something remarkable happens. People orbit you. They protect you. They speak well of you in rooms you are not in. They bring their best energy to your vision. You did not lose power. You generated more. The most powerful leaders in history were not hoarders. They were builders. They understood that a strong table lifts every plate on it. So the rule is this: ask yourself daily, who can I elevate today? Because your power is a direct reflection of the power of the people around you.
Rule number 4. Power demands emotional discipline. Now we get to the rule most people violate, sometimes daily. Emotional reactions are power leaks. Every time you react in anger when you should respond with calm, you lose power. Every time you let someone see that their words destabilized you, you lose power. Every time you make a decision from fear, from desperation, from ego, you lose power. This is not about being cold. This is not about being robotic. Emotional intelligence is warm, but it is disciplined. The people who hold genuine power in high-stakes environments share one trait: they are unreadable under pressure. Not because they feel nothing, but because they have trained themselves to process before they respond. Think about every high-pressure moment in your life where you reacted instead of responded. Think about what it cost you: a relationship, a reputation, an opportunity. Emotional discipline is not weakness. It is the highest form of power maintenance. The rule is this: before you speak in a heated moment, pause. Before you send that message, pause. The pause is where your power lives. Rule number 5. Power collapses without integrity. Here is the final rule, and it is the foundation under every other rule. You can understand the system. You can be consistent. You can elevate others. You can master your emotions. But if you build your power on deception, manipulation, or the exploitation of others, it will fall. Not maybe, not eventually. It will fall. History is a graveyard of powerful people who violated this rule. They rose quickly. They collapsed completely. Because power without integrity is a structure built on sand. It looks impressive, but one storm, one moment of exposure, and it is gone. Integrity is not just a moral concept. It is a structural one. It is what makes your power load-bearing. It is what allows people to stake their own reputation on your name. And when people are willing to do that, your power becomes unshakable. The rule is this: be the same person in the dark that you are in the light. Because power is not just about what you can take. It is about what people are willing to give you because they believe in who you are. Let us bring this home. Power has rules, and now you know 5 of them. Understand the system, both the visible and the invisible. Be consistent, not perfect, but reliable. Give generously, because power multiplies when it moves. Master your emotions, because the pause is where your power lives. Build on integrity, because it is the only foundation that holds. These are not soft suggestions. These are the mechanics. This is how power actually works in the real world. In boardrooms and living rooms, in cities and communities, in movements and marriages. You were not meant to be powerless. You were meant to understand the rules. Now go play the game differently. If this spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you are ready to go deeper,
I will see you in the next one.